Hey, Rob.
Hey.
Hello, I'm Harry Potter, and welcome to Viridian podcast episode, whatever it is. What are we on?
I don't know. Sorry that we missed last week, guys. We missed you. I had laryngitis, and I think I'm like the driver of the podcast, so it just did not happen. But we've got some great updates. I'm the driver of the podcast. I have been on every single podcast. Let the record show.
Oh, man. Oh,
yeah.
No, and when I was in elementary school, we used to get Braves tickets if you had perfect attendance. So, yeah, we should give you movie tickets or popcorn or something as a reward, Sarah. All right, so let's get into it. So, what's cool things are happening? We were out there the other day. They're digging the geothermal wells.
Yeah, so geothermal drilling is done for sequence 1. So that first 5, we're done.
Yeah.
Temporary roads are in. We roads. If
awesome. What's a temporary road?
It's a road that's not a final road.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you go out there. They are lovely, but they are not the permanent roads.
They're not the permanent roads.
We're looking forward to revealing those. Those are going to be really, really nice looking.
In just a couple of weeks, we are going to start laying eco-raster on a few road segments, and then we'll kind of like cordon them off so that people won't drive on them because we don't want people driving yet on the final roads, but we're going to be starting that process and making sure that everything goes perfectly.
Yeah. What else? Our sewers are being inspected. What else is happening? The roads are almost done.
We decided on a framer. So FSC panelization. So John tells me this means the building is more efficient. There's less waste. It's faster to build houses, so we can put up a first floor of a house in a day instead of a week because they're building.
And let's remind people what FSC is. So FSC is Forest Stewardship Council, meaning that we're not clear cutting forests in order to build these homes. If we clear cut forests to build net zero energy homes, it kind of defeats the purpose. So we're keeping these forests intact. So you can fish and you can hunt and you could walk and hike and do all these great things in these forests, and they remain intact and still get to build your house. My 9-year-old daughter was really upset with me last week. I didn't tell you this, Sarah. She said, Dahlia was telling me, she said, Daddy, are you going to be tearing down forests to build your houses? No, sweetie, that's a really good question, but we're not. She says, but they're made of wood and you're going to need to tear down trees if you're going to do that. And so I got to give her a little lesson about that. And I showed her pictures of some of the forests where the trees are coming from. And she was like, she was very happy with that notion. I said, we're building trees just the way the robins take twigs and borrow it from the forest. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. So what else? Any other cool updates? Because I want to share some interior stuff.
Yeah, I think pretty much it for now. I'm sure there's cool stuff I'm missing, but I also think that people really want to start to see what we're thinking about for the interiors of these homes. And today we thought we'd focus a little bit on some lighting exploration.
Yeah, so we're playing around with stuff. We still have not selected lighting. As with everything else that we've told you guys about, it is really, really freaking hard to select all this stuff and make sure that it's like totally sustainable.
Good, you're gonna show this. That's our kitchen mood board that we haven't shown everybody quite yet. There's been some sneak peeks, but
no. And again, this is still in draft form, but this is most of our selections, as you all know, we're using Bosch appliances throughout. Everyone's getting fantastic Bosch appliances. Our butcher block islands are going to be made by Turville Wood Products, which is Jason Turville and his dad. Just about 45 minutes from Ann Arbor, from dead and downed urban trees, Kohler sinks, Kohler faucets, fire clay tile, decked in countertops for all the wet surfaces. They've got one of the largest solar arrays on an industrial building anywhere in the world. Elliott Woodworking is doing our cabinetry, and that's going to be FSC wood as well. And Bryce was sending us some really cool stuff on how we're going to have really low or zero VOC coatings on that as well. We haven't nailed that down yet, but we want that to be obviously as non-toxic as everything else. And then the red oak floors, which will give people the option of staining different colors, but everybody across the board is getting solid wood, FSC certified oak flooring from Snowbelt in Wisconsin. There's Dave this morning. picking up our windows from Sweden, or not our windows, but there are some windows that we're using on another project and a couple of windows that we will be using at Veridian. But very exciting. So this week, Sarah and I have been looking for a really long time. We're really starting to dig into lighting a little bit more. Lighting is really hard. It's often made with really unsustainable stuff. It's kind of a race to the bottom with lighting. You get really high-end, expensive lighting that's thousands of dollars per fixture. Oftentimes, even that is unsustainable. All the way down to the cheapest $60, $100 fixtures that are made with vinyl. They're made with plastics. They're made with toxic materials, hexavalent chromium, wood, but they're from Brazil, but they're clear cutting Brazilian forests to make these beautiful wood pendants and sell them to you for $90 a piece. And we're not doing that. So this is actually an image from one of the ones we're exploring. We haven't talked to these guys yet, but we're just starting to discover some of these really niche shops that are making really, really beautiful lighting in a sustainable way. These guys, I think they're out of Seattle. They're making handmade glass, all from 100% recycled material. So we're going to really talk to them about pricing, but the stuff is just gorgeous, and it is, truly sustainable, and they really care and really finely crafted, and they pay their employees well and everything else. This is another company doing all bamboo, but really sustainably harvested bamboo, not some of the clear cut garbage, and also like handmade. Really, really beautiful, beautiful stuff. This is another company. Where is this? Out of Seattle, that is making lighting out of recycled cardboard. So it's nuts. So this stuff is gorgeous. Like, look at how they craft this stuff, and each person that's making the lighting, signs their name in there. And look at what this stuff looks like. This is cardboard, and it's just freaking gorgeous. Some of the stuff actually gets very expensive. Some of the lighting fixtures are thousands of dollars, because they're all handcrafted and they're really artistic and well designed. But others are really affordable, and we hope we'll be able to get something in a pretty decent price point. So that's kind of a sneak peek at some of the lighting we're looking at. We'd love to hear back from you guys about what you think of those choices. And Sarah, how are we going to do this with lighting?
I think what we're going to try to do, and you've heard us say before, like, the options are really, really limited because this is really, really hard. It's been hard for us to make sure that we're getting the absolute best materials and finishes and fixtures to go in your homes. But there are a few areas that we are hoping, it'll give you that, customization.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like Matt mentioned, stain on the floors, tile, we're working on that. And I think lighting is another area that, it's kind of like putting on mascara or something. Like, lighting can just change I don't know. Some other
why would there be pudding on mascara?
Oh geez.
Sorry.
Okay. So we're gonna our thoughts are, for
it's time for a dragon.
we're losing the thread here. For pendant lighting on the islands, for bath sconces, for the flush mount fixtures in bedrooms and such, we're gonna try to spec a few different options and a few different styles, and let the homeowners really, be able to make choices that best fit their aesthetic. So
yeah. And then, if people want to just spend more money on things, I mean, this stuff, your baseline is going to be gorgeous. It's going to be sustainable. It's going to be healthy. Like we always say, we're not going to charge you extra for the cancer-free package. Whereas other builders, the carcinogens come free. Right. We are offering, some options for upgrades if you guys really, really want that stuff. So if you want to spend more on lighting, we might have some upgrade packages available for that. But even in those things, it'll be pretty limited, because the more complicated we get this, it seems like one simple change. But when you're building so many homes and having to navigate all that stuff and spend that extra time that we're spending on the details of the materials, it makes it harder for us to customize every single home for y'all. So we appreciate y'all's understanding on that, and just trust that it's going to be gorgeous, and there will be ways of making it personal for yourselves. So they're not cookie cutter.
That's why I have a million throw pillows in my house of different colors. So all my stuff is like, wait,
That's right.
you
Yeah.
always bring it in with furnishings and stuff, and that's really how you.
We're buying a new sofa, and I'm telling you, we're going to end up spending more on the damn pillows than we do on the sofa when it's all said and done.
But you can switch those out easily.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a pretty good update.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Y'all
guys.
have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. We need a tagline, like a sign off.
All right. We'll think.
Good night and good luck.
If anybody has ideas, throw them in the
Eyes
comments.
forward.
There you go. Eyes forward.
Eyes forward. All right, guys. We love you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.